What up, tube? What are we doing today? We're going to try to fix my number one gripe about the 987.2 2009 to 2012 tan interior Porsche Cayman S. Okay, and that is the tan interior itself. It seems like the tan interior was coated afterwards, you know, so maybe it's the black interior parts and then they spray coated it with a rubberized coating, and it scratches really easy. So when we went to do the suspension now almost a year ago, you know, we scratched up some of the panels because you had to take off the interior panels to get to the rear suspension, so the hatch panels. So we found something, or a company called Magic Mender, okay, and they make a putty to help fill in upholstery. I tried this on our plastic pieces. It didn't hold too well. It didn't layer up too well. So we ended up not using this part. But we did get the Magic Mender Color Flex. Our interior color is sand beige, and we confirmed that with the VIN number, okay, through the Porsche PCA, and then just went on their website and selected it. I bought 2 bottles of this, and first of all, they ask you to blot it with a sponge onto the, you know, clean it first. So we, you know, obviously we cleaned it first. We used 50-50 alcohol water solution. Cleaned it really good, made sure it was clean and dry, and then we blotted it with the sponge that they give you. And you can see here's the material, and it scratches off, you know, but it's pretty durable and flexible. But in our experience, for what we were doing, by blotting it and using the sponge, it was leaving, you know, marks, trail marks, like you would with a brush, or if you're painting in the house with a sponge, you know, little marks. So we said, let's try something, okay? Now, it's not a dilutable material, not that I know of. I apologize. It's not a dilutable material, not that I know of, but I do have this little detail spray gun. So it's like a spot gun that we bought from Harbor Freight. Super cheap, under $15, probably $10. I've used it in the past to spray on some coatings, but I very rarely use it. I set the pressure on the tank to 40 psi, filled up this guy halfway with the Magic Mender solution, and sprayed the panel. And this is the center deck panel that goes where the OEM strut brace goes, or reinforcement brace goes. And this panel was all scratched up prior to this, and it filled in very nicely. Even in the really damaged areas, it still filled in quite nicely and got us to one uniform color. Now, this is what the Cayman looks like. I didn't want to take apart the interior completely. The main damage is in this area on both sides. That's the area we worked on to get to the rear rear shocks and spring units. So the engine is covered. We plasticed everything off. There is the engine cover on it. The carpet cover is not on. I took that off. And as you can see right there, and in this whole area, these black marks, like right here, are all the scratching that has happened because we were working on the car, and it is what it is. So what I'm going to do is use the same technique using the other panel, and we're going to spray through the spot gun, or through the detail gun. We're going to spray this area. We taped everything off really well, all the way to the outside. There wasn't a lot of overspray with my first testing away from the car, so this should be fine. Let's get the gun loaded, and let's get to spraying. Alright, so as you can see, after one pass, it's already cleaned up quite a bit. We're going to put about 3 coats on it. That's what I did on the other panel. Okay, we're going to let this flash off. It's a little humid today, so it's going to take a little bit longer to flash. So we're going to give it about 20 minutes instead of the standard 10 minutes that Magic Mender tells you to let flash. So we're going to give it 20 minutes because of the humidity, and we'll be back out here. We're going to finish up and then come take a look at the final product. Alright. So, we did a total of 3 coats, and it worked out really nice. And this is the last coat. It's still flashing off. Now, you can see all the heavy marks are taken care of. Now, I got a couple runs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this sit overnight, 24 hours. Says you can handle it after an hour, fully cured is an hour. 24 hours, fully cured, according to the instructions from Magic Mender. We're not sponsored by Magic Mender, but we wanted to give this a try. So far, it looks good. We're happy with the results. It totally cleaned up all the marks that I accidentally did it. So hopefully, next time we got to be careful when we take out the carpet and go to work on the engine. But anyways, we're going to come back tomorrow. We're going to sand down some of the runs with 800 grit sandpaper and then give it one last light coat to fade it in, and we'll come and take a look at it. Make sure you hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell, give us a few comments, let us know what you think, and we'll see you in 24 hours. Well, in like right now. All right, all done. We ended up going with 4 coats. I had to sand one area down right here after I let it dry for a day. So this is the second day, the next day. Told you it'd happen right away. But the idea was to cover up all the scuff marks, and I think we did that. I still got a piece of tape there I got to pull off. But as you can see, pulled all the plastic and tape off, no problem. Got to put the carpet back on, the top right here back on, but it's easy assembly. And I'm just going to let it sit because I gave it I sanded it down after 3 coats. And in that area, I just sand that area, but because I needed to touch that up because of the sanding with 800 grit sandpaper, and they do provide you 2 small sheets of sandpaper, but if you need more, it's 800. And I gave it one more coat, so a 4th coat. So I'm going to let this sit. It's been drying for about 30 minutes already, so it's already flashed. But I'm going to let it sit overnight, or maybe till the end of the day, and then finish assembling everything carefully so we don't scuff it up again. Now, what I did notice is this is pretty much like a plasti dip material, which is very similar to what Porsche uses to coat that, and I mentioned that earlier in the video. These look like maybe they were black pieces and they coat them tan. Again, my only gripe about this entire car is that. But we have a way of fixing it. You can blot it with a sponge, you can spray it like we did, and it came out really, really nice. The gun, a simple Harbor Freight, inexpensive gun. I'll show it to you one more time. And this, I believe I paid under $15 for this guy. It's the spot gun. I filled up the container about halfway with the Magic Mender. So this is what it looks like brand new. I believe it's a 5-ounce bottle. I can't remember. I do know that just the color flex in your matching color, and it comes in this kit because I ordered an extra one with a little blotter, the sponge, and the tray, is just around $30 before shipping. The entire kit, which is everything you see here, plus the repair compound, is a total of $70. I didn't use the repair compound. It didn't work out for me on that material. I'm going to keep it because I believe it would probably work on some of the leather areas. I'll just hold on to it. I paid for it. But anyways, it worked out good. We taped, we masked, We didn't have to pull it all apart. We were careful. We used a spot spray gun, and we're done. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a great week. God bless.